Hey, you guys, good evening. Good evening. This is Miko Siddiqui, your real estate industry leader. You already know business is booming. Good evening tonight. Before we get started, if you can do me a very small favor, over on the left-hand side, hit the share button, and on the right, hits the hearts, because you know I love to love you back. Tonight, I want to talk about the market crashing, but before we do, I want to give you guys a few minutes to come on board. Hey, Tracy, you're always one of the first ones on. How you doing? So I want to give you guys a few minutes to chime on before we actually get into this deep, heavy conversation tonight. If you guys want to have some questions, feel free to ask, but I do want to talk about the market crashing and what you're going to do, and are you going to be prepared? Hey, Michelle Johnson, how you doing? Hey, Thundercat, how you doing tonight? Again, you guys do me a favor. On the left-hand side, hit the share button. Here's what you need to know. Facebook has changed the way that they do business, meaning if you don't have people sharing your videos, liking your videos, your content, you're no longer really going viral anymore. So it's really important that you guys do me a favor and share the information, because if you find it valuable, someone else hopefully will as well. So tonight, what I want to talk to you about, the inevitable, the market crashing. Many people have been trying to time the market and what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. Do I know when it's going to happen? Not exactly. But what I do know is history. And history, we all know, repeats itself. So here's what I mean. Every 5 to 8 years, the market has what everyone calls a crash. But what it really is a market correction. I want to give you a really simple example. I'm going to start with the stock, Tesla stock. I bought the stock, and you guys are going to have to forgive me. For whatever reason, this records backwards. So just bear with me, listen to me, but watch what you can. I know it's backwards. So I bought Tesla stock initially at $80. When I first heard about Tesla stock, it was $35. But because I had listened to some advisors, I didn't make the move when I wanted to make the move. And I'm sharing this with you because I'm going to give you a tip at the end, all right? So at $80, I finally got in at $80. I didn't go in at the 35, and the market went all the way up to $135. And if you guys remember, Tesla is the first car that was actually able to operate without someone driving it. A car accident happened. When that happened, the stock went tumbling down, and next thing you know, fear set in. And when fear set in, as this was going down, I hopped right on out of the market. And then I remembered something that Warren Buffett said. When everybody else is rushing out, you rush in. And so what I'm telling you is this. That same stock, I finally calmed down and got back in the market at $135 again, because it went back up. And today, that same stock is now at $178 as of last Friday. And I'm telling you this for a reason, because we are going to experience a market crashing really soon here. I would say in the next year to 3 years, we will see this again. Now, it's not a crash, it is a market correction. Housing prices are going way up, you guys, and people's salaries are not following behind it. The salaries are staying here. So if these two things are not coinciding, that's when you start to see a dive come down. I do not want you to go in fear and in panic. Millionaires are made during that time, all right? Everybody, let's talk about Mountain House. Mountain House is a city out in Central Valley, California. That was a ghost town in 2009. 2008, 2009 as the market tanked. Nobody, it was just signs there, looked like the Wild Wild West. That same small city, you guys can Google it, Mountain House, California, now is one of the fastest growing cities in Northern California. So as the market is doing this and the market correction is getting ready to happen, let me give you another example. My mom, she bought her house for $35,000 back in 1974. That same house now, even with all of the markets going up and down like they are, or like they were, is worth $600,000. Her house will never go back to $35,000. My Tesla stock will never go back to $80,000. So what I want you guys to do is start to prepare yourself financially when the crash comes. Do not go in fear. When the crash comes, that is when you calm down, watch things as they're happening, and as they start to happen, and you know I'm going to come on and talk to you guys about it, as things are starting to change and the foreclosures are starting to happen and things like that, that is when you start to prepare yourself to purchase, all right? This is really good for those of you that, especially that want to do investing, all right? So as they're running out, like Mountain House back in those days, they were running out of this marketplace, a lot of investors ran in, and what happened is they bought those houses. For example, I bought a house out there for $300,000. That same house is worth $560,000. I will never be able to sit and save that working, right? but I can do it in a short amount of time with real estate. So as the market starts to crash, and it will in the next year to 3 years, I want you to be prepared financially. The other thing that's really important, you guys, is stop being consumers and start being owners. Here's what I mean. If you own an Apple iPhone, you own an Android iPhone, whatever you have, you should be owning stock in that company, because that company should be paying you, right, dividends. And if you're not, then all you are is a consumer. If you're renting, it's okay as long as you're preparing yourself to buy. Again, if you're a renter, all you are is a consumer. When that market crashes and that house forecloses, who is going to have to move? The renter, not the owner. So I want you to prepare yourself to become the owner and not the consumer anymore. We've got to change the mindset that we're in. You guys, I want to talk to you guys later on in the week, or probably next week. We're going to sit down and we're going to start looking at your finances and how to get out of debt using your own money. I've done that myself, and I want to share that and impart that on you guys. So I just wanted to talk to you about the market correction. When it does happen, prepare yourself financially. Do not go in fear, because it is a normal cycle that we all see, 5 to 8 years. We had one last year in January, and when we had it in January, what happened? Everybody was freaking out of the stock market because it was rallying at the high. And when it rallied at that high, everybody got out of the market. And what happened? Warren Buffett, those type of people, they ran right on in, made all that money, and now everybody started to come back in later. And they lost all that money in between. So I'm preparing you mentally to do not go in fear. Stay calm and just be prepared financially. You guys, thank you for watching. Please share. And if you guys know anyone that is looking to buy or sell, it doesn't matter what state, where you live, I have resources and connections all over. Have them send me a message in my inbox, and I will find you a realtor local to your area that can help you. That's a good agent. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later in the week for Transformation Tuesday, where we're talking about fasting. Bye. Good night.